This is a packet capture of the GET request between my laptop and the CRM app. These images come from a protocol analyzer called Wireshark. I'm ignoring all of the networking details here because they aren't relevant, but we can see the protocol is HTTP and that we issue a GET request to the /URL. That just means the topmost resource. Digging into the details, we see the entire HTTP request expanded. The request line includes the GET operation and is followed by the headers. The host header is required and carries the URL string. The remaining headers provide metadata about my laptop browser. For example, I used Firefox on a MacBook, and my language is set to American English. The headers and the body are separated by a blank line represented by \r\n as shown. This particular request actually has no body, which is common for GET requests since the client is trying to get something rather than send something. These square bracket Wireshark lines are just comments, not actual HTTP data. We'll see a real HTTP body shortly. Here is the server's response. We see status code 200, which means OK, and the body is carrying HTML text. Looking at the headers, the server is telling the client that it is carrying HTML text encoded using UTF-8. It also tells the client there are 1,973 bytes of data. The other headers provide additional data about the web server. Notice the blank line again after the headers. Again, this separates the headers from the body. The body is large and I'm only showing the beginning of it, but you can clearly see the HTML text carried in this message. The browser will display this data by processing the HTML code. Suppose we punch in an account number into our app and click the Submit button. What happens then? This generates an HTTP post request from the client which is carrying a web form. You can think of this as representing the data included in the input text field. As with all HTTP requests, there is a host header specifying the URL. We also see the usual headers that describe the client metadata and preferences. Check out these new content headers. The client is telling the server, I'm sending you a web form with 14 bytes of data. This tells the server how to process the HTTP body. Here's that blank line again which separates the headers from the body. The body contains what is effectively a key-value pair where the key is account ID and the value is account 100. Let's finish up by looking at the response from the post request. Once again, we see code 200 indicating success. The headers remain almost identical to the previous HTTP response. I'm adding a screenshot from within the body details to prove that the server actually does return the correct balance. These packet captures are included in the course files if you want to dig deeper.